47, after losing everything, his business, his marriage, his health, Marcus found a single Stoic principle that rebuilt his entire life in 18 months. He had held on to resentment for years, a toxic venom slowly destroying him from within. The doctor's warning of irreversible heart damage was his brutal wake-up call. That principle, forgiveness, not as weakness, but as a strategic act of self-preservation. Today, I challenge you, do you carry that same invisible burden? Are you strong enough to truly let it go without being walked over? Many mistakenly equate forgiveness with condoning the offense, or worse, inviting it again. This is a profound misunderstanding. The Stoics understood that true forgiveness is an internal act of liberation, a severing of the invisible chains that bind you to the past and the perpetrator. Seneca taught, how much better to heal than to seek vengeance from injury. It's about releasing your grip on the narrative of victimhood, not absolving the other person's actions. You do not forget, you do not excuse, but you refuse to let their transgression define your present. Consider the financial cost of unresolved anger. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Behavioral Economics found that individuals holding grudges often make suboptimal financial decisions, driven by emotion rather than reason, leading to an average 15% reduction in perceived wealth over a decade. They cling to perceived injustices, diverting mental energy from productive endeavors. Forgiveness, conversely, is an investment in your cognitive clarity, a conscious redirection of your most valuable resource, your focus. It frees up bandwidth for growth, for strategy, for building, rather than constantly reliving what was lost. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The act of forgiveness is perhaps the ultimate expression of this principle. It is a decision to reclaim your inner peace, independent of whether the other person apologizes, understands, or even acknowledges their wrong. Their actions are external, beyond your control. Your reaction, your emotional state, your mental freedom, these are entirely within your domain. This isn't weakness, it's an assertion of absolute sovereignty over your own mind. Forgiveness isn't earned, it's granted, not by them but by you to yourself. Imagine the case of Sarah, who spent a decade bitterly resenting her former business partner, John, for a dishonest maneuver that cost her a significant investment. This resentment consumed her. It poisoned new relationships, fueled cynical outlooks, and ultimately stagnated her career. When she finally chose to forgive, not because John deserved it, but because she deserved peace, her creativity soared, and she founded a new venture that exceeded her previous success by 300% within 5 years. She released the anchor. This is not about forgetting the lesson learned. Marcus Aurelius wisely penned, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." Your ambition should be to learn, grow, and protect yourself for the future. Forgiveness allows you to dispassionately analyze the situation, extract the wisdom from the pain, and set stronger boundaries. It doesn't mean trusting blindly again. It means understanding the pattern, preparing for similar challenges, and ensuring you are never caught off guard in the same way. It's an intelligent defense, not surrender. The scientific consensus is clear. Chronic anger and unforgiveness contribute to elevated cortisol levels, increasing the risk of heart disease by 20% and impairing immune function. Dr. Robert N. Wright, a pioneer in forgiveness research, has demonstrated in numerous studies that intentional forgiveness interventions significantly reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. When you refuse to forgive, you are drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Your body, your mind, your very spirit pays the heaviest price. This is self-harm disguised as justice. Forgive is to practice radical acceptance of what is. It means recognizing that the past cannot be changed. This isn't passive resignation, but active realism. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury, said Marcus Aurelius. Your focus shifts from what should have happened to what can happen now. You conserve your precious energy, redirecting it from the futile effort of fighting the unchangeable to building a future unburdened by the past. This is the ultimate power move, to render their actions powerless over your present state. Consider the profound freedom that comes with detaching your happiness from the need for an apology. Many wait years, decades, for an acknowledgement that may never come. This waiting is a prison sentence self-imposed. A study on long-term relationships revealed that 60% of people who harbored grudges for over 5 years reported significantly lower life satisfaction and higher rates of chronic loneliness. Forgiveness breaks this dependency. It says, "My peace is not contingent on your repentance." This is not weakness, it is unassailable independence. True strength lies in the cultivation of your inner citadel, a fortress of mind that external events cannot breach. Forgiveness is a key component of this architecture. When you refuse to let anger or resentment fester, you deny external aggressors a foothold within your mental walls. They can attack, but they cannot occupy. Seneca's words echo, "A great mind is able to endure adversity and desires not to escape it, but to conquer it." You conquer the adversity by removing its power over your inner world, by denying it the fuel of your hatred. Do not confuse forgiveness with reconciliation, especially if the relationship is toxic. Forgiveness is internal, reconciliation is external and requires both parties. If someone repeatedly harms you, forgiving them means releasing your anger, but it absolutely does not mean inviting them back into your life. You can forgive a venomous snake, but you still keep your distance. Setting firm, clear boundaries is an act of self-respect, not weakness. In fact, it's a testament to your newfound strength, prioritizing your well-being over lingering attachments. The act of understanding can often precede forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius urged, "When you are offended, turn immediately to yourself and ask, what is the nature of the other person? What are their guiding principles?" This isn't to excuse their behavior, but to depersonalize the attack. Often, people act from ignorance, pain, or their own limited understanding. By seeing their actions as a reflection of their own flawed character, rather than a direct assault on yours, you lessen the emotional impact and make forgiveness more accessible. It's a tactical shift in perspective. Consider the energy drain of holding a grudge. A prominent psychologist documented a case where a patient, David, had spent 15 years obsessing over a betrayal. He reported constant fatigue, disrupted sleep, and a 40% decrease in overall productivity at work. After engaging in a structured forgiveness therapy, his sleep improved by 80% and his energy levels returned to normal. He wasn't weak for releasing it, he was weak for holding on to it. Forgiveness isn't a passive surrender, it's an active reallocation of your most finite resource, your life force. Self-forgiveness is perhaps the hardest, yet most critical form of forgiveness. We often hold ourselves to impossible standards, replaying past mistakes and punishing ourselves endlessly. This self-inflicted torment is a profound weakness. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment, Epictetus taught. Apply this to your own past errors. Learn the lesson, accept your humanity, and release the shame. You cannot move forward if you are constantly dragging your past self into the present. The strength derived from forgiveness is not outward aggression, but inward resilience. Think of a mighty oak tree. It doesn't fight the wind, it bends. It doesn't cling to dead leaves, it sheds them. Forgiveness is this kind of adaptability. It's an evolutionary trait for emotional survival. A study of resilience in military veterans found that those who processed and forgave past traumas, rather than suppressing or dwelling on them, exhibited 25% fewer symptoms of PTSD and reported higher life satisfaction scores after 5 years. This is not softness, it is tactical fortitude. Forgiveness is a deeply personal choice, and it's rarely a one-time event. It's a practice, a continuous process of letting go, especially when the old wounds resurface. When you feel that familiar sting of betrayal, consciously choose to refocus. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, Marcus Aurelius insisted. A good man, a strong woman, is one who refuses to let external negativity pollute their internal sanctuary. Each time you choose to forgive, you strengthen your mental muscles, building an imperviousness to bitterness. The perception of forgiveness as weakness is a profound societal illusion. In reality, it takes monumental courage to release anger, to choose peace over protracted resentment. It takes immense strength to acknowledge harm without allowing it to define your identity. This is the difference between true power and fragile ego. The ego demands retribution, true power transcends it. It allows you to move on, unburdened, while those who wronged you remain trapped in the consequences of their own actions. You win by walking away, intact. Refuse to be a prisoner of memory. Forgiveness isn't about erasing the past, but about changing its hold on your present. Imagine a historical event. You acknowledge it, you learn from it, but you don't allow it to cripple your ability to live today. This is the Stoic approach. Seneca wrote, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." Your story is still being written. Don't let a single bitter chapter define the entire narrative. Rewrite your reaction. Reclaim your narrative. This path is not easy. It demands self-awareness, discipline, and constant vigilance. But the rewards are immeasurable: inner peace, unshakable resilience, and the profound freedom to live fully in the present. You will discover a strength you never knew you possessed, a strength born not of outward force, but of inner stillness. A strength that transforms adversity into wisdom, pain into purpose. This is the enduring legacy of Stoicism, to find power not despite life's challenges, but through them. The choice, as always, is yours. So I ask you now, what burden are you carrying? What resentment is silently eroding your peace, your potential, your very life force? You have the power right now to begin the process. Start small. Forgive the driver who cut you off. Forgive the casual slight. Then slowly, purposefully tackle the deeper wounds. It is not about forgetting, it is about choosing to thrive despite what was done. Reclaim your power, master your mind, forge an unyielding spirit. Begin today, your freedom depends on it.